Welcome to Lecture 2. This is the second part of Chapter 1, and this is involving the components of information systems. Some of the learning objectives for this section of the chapter are to learn about different aspects and components of information systems and how they pertain to business. We go back to the first part of Chapter 1 when we talked about what is a system, or we asked that question. And we identified that it is an input, process, output are the components or elements of every system, regardless of if it's an information system or not. We're going to add two more components to that, feedback and control. Those are essential to perform a meaningful loop to help systems improve as they progress through. This diagram shows that relationship, and you can see the arrows that are pointing through to identify how organizations operate and how businesses work in conjunction with. On the outside box, you'll see the community, competitors, customers, stockholders, labor unions, financial institutions, suppliers, and government agencies. They're on the fringe outside of the business. Inside, we have management. That's a control point. Then there's information systems that provide feedback between management and the systems themselves. Then down below, you'll see in the box yellow, purple, and blue box, input, process, output. In the input section, we have people, money, material, machines, land, facilities, energy, information. In the processing section, we have business processes that can be marketing, development, production, delivery of products and services, supporting customers and other processes. Here at a university, within some of those enrollment processes and business processes, we have admissions, we have registration or registrar, we have financial aid, and then we have career and development support. We have a variety of business processes that encompass that processing box. And then the output. Well, the output of products and services, payments, contributions, information, and other effects of the business process. That, in a nutshell, is what a system is. The diagram below on this slide identifies temperature control. You have a thermostat, which has voltage to a gas valve. The gas valve then ties into fuel going to the furnace that creates heat or reduces heat that then is applied to the room to affect the room temperature. This is another type of a system, and happens to be an environmental subsystem. But as you notice, we've added voltage, gas, fuel, and then room temperature at the end. Those are interfaces that allow different business processes or different processes to work together. This happens to be a closed system. It doesn't necessarily interact with anything else, but we also have open systems which will interact with many other different types of systems. And then there is also adaptive systems. They change based upon their environmental conditions. So as a reminder, here are the components of an information system more broadly put. In addition to input, processing, and output, and control and feedback systems, we now have data storage. We also have in the outside box, we have in the border, we have people resources, software resources, hardware resources, network resources, and data resources. All of those are combined into a fully functioning information system. We have to talk about people resources because that is actually the highest expense that a business has, or can be one of the highest expenses. Here at the university, salary and benefits is one of the highest expenses that the university has. We happen to identify for information systems as IS specialists and then end users. So there's those that help develop the information systems and maintain them, and then you have everyone else that uses them, which are the end users. We also have to take into consideration the hardware resources. These are the machines, the computing devices that make everything work. In our environment, those would be servers, storage, area networks, would be the network equipment that ties it all together. And then, of course, I mentioned this, the storage area network, or what we call a SAN, is where the data is stored. Additionally, we have software resources. These are the programs that have been designed to help manifest business processes with data and information. The software also contains procedures on how to move the data and the workflow appropriately for the business. The data resources, or information, is becoming more and more important. You'll see here the data definition of data here is unorganized facts and figures, where information is organized so that it has value to the organization. It's not that data doesn't have value, but in and of itself, it doesn't do much. It's only when we convert data into information that it becomes usable for the organization. Then there's the network resources, which is called here communications media. We would probably call it telecommunication media because it's the physical pathway where the signals travel. So this is the network. Also within our infrastructure, it's called Wi-Fi as well, because that medium is traveling over radio waves through a network to connect you to the organization. All of that is encapsulated in the network infrastructure, which is a series of hardware, software, and all of those connection points. So, to summarize, the system activities are input of data resources, processing of data into information, output of information products, then it's stored, and then there's a control piece to monitor to make sure that it's effective and efficient. We will say then that an information system is composed of people, hardware, software, data, and network resources. It also involves the type of information products used or produced. Those information products are coming from data. And of course, the performance of input processing, output storage, and control activities identifies the effectiveness of the information system. Some input processing, output, and storage and control activities are extremely slow. It is the information technology division that then has to come in and make that more efficient so that it's faster.